I hope you have a lovely Christmas with your family and your loved ones, and has Santa spoiled you? If you are an artist looking for some guidelines concerning cinematic rendering workflow, or even a studio in search of some guidance on its next project, I'm here to help and clarify things for you. Today we talk about level sequence and master sequence. I assume in this video you have basic knowledge of level sequence, how it works in a general way. We focus here on the global workflow. Let's dive into a new project, and here I'm using the Greek Island pack, which is included in the Free for the Month content for December. You can find the link in the description. When your layout, global lighting and scene are ready, it's time to put everything in place in order to render things out. And when it's time to render things in Unreal for cinematic, linear content, you must use and understand all the beauty and power of level sequences. Based on my experience and on the classical industry workflow, we are going to work per shot and ensemble everything in a master sequence. By doing so, we will facilitate the overall process. So the first thing you need to create is a good content and folder structure. Best practice is to create a root folder where you will put all your shots. Let's name it Cinematics. Then, let's say you work on the first sequence of your movie where you have 4 shots in it. So create a sequence 01 folder with 4 subfolders for each shot, named as I do here, SH010, shot 20, and so on. The process here we are manually doing can be automated by using add level sequence with shots at the top here, but we are going to talk about it just afterwards. Now back to our sequence 01 folder, we are going to create our first level sequence, which is going to be our master sequence. So right click in your content browser, look for cinematics and go for level sequence. Let's name it ls for level sequence underscore sequence 01 underscore master. Level sequence or sequencer is the same thing, don't forget that. The master sequence is where we are going to put all our shot sequences. We are going to leave it there for now, and we will assemble everything right after our shots are made. Just make sure to have consistent FPS across all your sequencers. Here we'll use 24 FPS. Now let's go to our shot 20 folder and create the shot sequence here. Create a spawnable camera directly by clicking on this camera icon here, and you will have now a spawnable actor, and it means that as soon as you close your sequencer, it will disappear. It really spawns at the launch of your sequencer. Click on the camera icon to control the camera directly. Okay, let's place our camera on an attractive spot. Here, just adjust your camera settings, mainly with the focal, focus and aperture settings. I'm going to create a simple animation here. You can also use rig rail and rig crane in order to achieve more complex animation for your camera. And don't forget that I've covered up this topic on the previous video that you can find top here or in the description. As I said earlier, don't forget to change your FPS in order to match the one you put in place in your master sequence. So here I'm going to change it to 24, and I'll do the same for the following sequencers. Oh, and make sure that you always have a camera cuts track alongside your cinema camera actor track, otherwise your render will appear black. I advise you to stick with 1 camera per shot. It will be much smoother and easier to manage afterwards. For this shot 10, I'll just leave it simple with just 1 camera animation. Now let's create our shot 20 in the corresponding folder, just right here. Same process as before, but here I add the directional lights in this sequencer. By doing so, I'm able to change the lighting independently from the global scene in this shot. Meaning if I leave the sequencer, the lighting will go back to the values I have here. This is one of the powers of sequencer. But you absolutely need to specify the track you want to modify here. Otherwise, you will change the value for the entire scene. Here, for example, once you call your directional light in this sequencer, you need to add the transform track in order to change the position of your lights just in the sequencer. Click on the plus icon here and look for transform. Now, if you change the orientation of your light, it is happening just in this shot, in this sequencer. Let's leave shot 20, and as you can see, it is independent from the global scene. Let's work a little bit on these shots and create a good camera spot and animation, along with a different lighting. Well, now I'm sure you understand the basics, so I'm going to get straight down to shot 30 and the last one, shot 40. All shots are ready, so let's go back to our master sequence. This is essential as you have an overview of all your shots and you can easily navigate between them. You won't need to open each sequencer one by one. What you must do is to add a shot track. So go to plus track and look for it. Now you can add all the sequencer you made for each shot directly there. Don't hesitate to add 2 tracks as I do here to ease the process of placing one by one each shot. Now while clicking on the camera icon here, you are able to navigate through each camera of each shot directly in the same place. You can at any moment double click on any shot here and have access to it and modify any properties you want without leaving sequencers. Here it's a scenario where you create shots directly in Unreal. We did it manually, but you can automate the process as I mentioned earlier, first by using add level sequencer with shots up here. This will give you the opportunity to create in advance all your shots, folder and structure and managing naming convention too. Second way to automate things is to use Unreal Python API in order to create and automatically place multiple shots in a master sequence without having to place manually each of them. I'm currently working on a script using this method to ease the overall process. What I usually see when I'm working with studios is that all animations are made in Maya in the first place and we just import everything into Unreal at the end. We often manage import by using 3D pipeline softwares such as Prism or Aeon. And if you know any other one, just leave some comment below. The final step will be to render everything, of course. Best way is to use the Movie Render Queue plugin and go from there directly. By trying to render from your master, you'll be able to have access to all the shots in it and render everything straight away. There's a lot of things to cover in the Movie Render Queue plugin, so I'll make a video explaining in depth what's in there and what's the best settings to use for rendering. So here we have a workflow to manage your shots and regrouping everything in one master sequence. Whether you deal with 4 shots or 150, you can do and use the same process. Pay attention to your global structures in your content and in each shot. I hope this video gave you a better understanding on how to use level sequencer and to organize a global workflow with one master sequence. Don't hesitate to subscribe and leave some comments below and share your thoughts with everyone. See you on next video. Bye!